In September 1961, Barney and Betty Hill, an interracial couple, civil rights activists, were driving through rural New Hampshire when they claimed they have encountered something extraordinary. Lights in the sky, missing time in their memory, vivid dreams, under hypnosis, detailed recollections of being taken aboard an alien craft. Their stories would become one of the most famous alien abduction claims in history. This is the story about Barney and Betty Hill's abduction. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel where we talk about everything that interests me. It was only a matter of time before we got to an alien abduction story on this channel, and today's the day. And this one I thought was very interesting, and it's one of those, it's like, hey, I feel like this is something we can't just let disappear. We got to keep talking about it because not saying it didn't happen, but I think it might have happened. So, see, I'm excited. Also, again, Rocky is not here. He has been abducted by aliens. Sorry, he's out today. Barney Hill, born 1922, worked for the U.S. Postal Service. Betty Hill, born 1919, was a social worker in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They were active in the civil rights causes, members of the NAACP, and Barney served on the U.S. Commissions on the Civil Rights Board. So there's your backstory on Barney and Betty. Now we can get into the night of the abduction. September 19th through the 20th, 1961. Driving home from Niagara Falls and Montreal, they spotted a bright light in the sky around 10:30 p.m. Betty used binoculars and described a craft, multicolored lights. The object moved erratic and descended towards them. At one point, the craft hovered about 80 to 100 feet overhead. Barney reported seeing humanoid figures through its windows. They heard beeping sounds and experienced missing time, realizing hours later they had covered far less distance than expected. So they saw the craft. They were like, what's that? Let me bust out the binoculars. Yep, that's a UFO, honey. That's a UFO. Watches stopped working. Binoculars strap torn. Barney's shoes scraped. Betty insisted their luggage be kept near the door. They both showered immediately as if to wash away contamination. Well, that's okay. Now you're messing with evidence, Betty and Barney. The heck, y'all never watched any crime shows? The trip home took 7 hours instead of 4. They had little memory of 35 miles of the route. They reported this case to the NICAP, and the U.S. Air Force investigation revealed fragmented memories. So we showered all the evidence off of us, and then we called the cops. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm just saying. 10 days later, Betty had 5 consecutive nightmares of vivid dreams about being taken aboard the craft. Dreams included small men in uniforms, medical examinations, and conversations with its leader. The Hills sought hypnosis therapy with Dr. Benjamin Simpson to explore their lost memories. So right off the bat, I wonder if a lot of people didn't believe him, or if they even believe themselves on what happened. Because if I'm being honest, if I got abducted, I hope I don't, because I don't want nothing up my butt. If I got abducted, and if I can remember a little bit, I'd be telling as many. We'd make a YouTube video right here, and I'd be like, guys, aliens abducted me, and they put stuff in my butt. They put something up my butt. You gotta believe me. Eventually, they went and got. Now, this is the part where I feel like a lot of doubters got turned into believers, because they did the hypno. They were under hypnosis when they were getting interviewed, and I believe we're about to get into it. Under hypnosis, Betty drew a star map she claimed aliens showed her. Amateur astronomers, Marjorie Fish late argued it matches the Zeta reticulia system. That's cool. Though skeptics said it was a coincidence, the map fueled the Zeta Reticuli incident nickname. I do believe also, like, they were both interviewed and they both gave like the exact same descriptions under hypnosis as well. So that's what made this the most believable. My camera keeps focusing on Matthew McConaughey back here, and this is why I'm changing my setup, because it keeps focusing on Matthew. Look at that. Get out of here, Matthew. John G. Fuller in 1966 wrote a book, The Interrupted Journey, brought national attention. Barney died in 1969. Betty lived until 2004, continuing to advocate UFO research. Dang, Barney died like, what was that? 8 years after the incident? Dang, that sucks. Now, this is where skeptics come in, like always, and I'm not saying they're wrong. They have some good points here. They were saying it was, skeptics suggested it was stress, fatigue, and an aircraft lights may have been misinterpreted. Hypnosis is controversial. Critics argue memories may have been influenced by suggestions and culture. I don't know. But closing arguments here. Again, I was not supposed to read that part. The Barney and Betty Hill incident remains the most famous early alien abduction cases. It introduces themes like missing time, hypnotic regression, and alien star maps. Idea that shaped abduction lore for decades. Whether true encounter or psychological phenomenons, it continues to fuel debate about memory, perception, and extraordinary experiences. Am I saying Betty and Barney Hill really got abducted? Maybe. That's for you guys to decide. What do you guys think? Comment down below if you believe that this was actually a thing. I didn't dive too deep into it because I couldn't find that much, because it wasn't much of a story besides just they got abducted. They both, like, when they were getting interviewed, they both gave like the same answers. And everyone's like, whoa, this could be it. We could talk about I think it was the fire in the sky, the lumberjack guy who got abducted. Then like several days later, he showed up out of nowhere. That could be one. Let me know if you guys want to hear more abduction stories. We can have an alien hour. We can do live stream alien hours on Fridays, maybe. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one. Stay frosty. Bye-bye.